Hello and welcome to Let's Talk More Power. The subject of our program today is very, very special. Prepare yourself. And talking about special, I have here two very special guests. I'm here with Michael and Chris. Chris CB, how are you, Chris?
Very well, thank you.
How are you, Michael?
Good, thank you.
They're going to be here with me in today's program because we're going to be beating depression together. Actually, Chris has beaten depression. Maybe you have never seen someone doing such a thing. Maybe you have never heard that it's possible for depression to be beaten. But what do you think, Chris? Well, hold on there, because you're going to let people know what you have done in order to beat depression. Wherever you are, please invite friends, invite people you know who are in need of help. Maybe you are the one. Maybe you are the one suffering there with depression. Maybe you have been feeling suicidal, and somehow you are watching us right now. Do you know why? Because today you will know what you have to do to overcome this monster, this problem that has been beating you for maybe a couple of years. But now it's payback time. Get ready. Let's invite as many people as we can to join us, because I'm sure not only you, but as many as watch this program, they will benefit from today's subject.
I had depression for 20 years.
I suffer from depression since I was a child, and I was always having depression.
I used to be depressed. I was depressed for about 2 or 3 years. I was 18 years old, and I was cutting myself in my stomach, and it got to the point where I went to Westminster Bridge to jump off.
I suffered with depression for 7 years. I used to cry myself to sleep, and I used to slit my wrist.
I suffered with depression, severe depression, for over 10 years.
When I came here to the UCKG, I beat depression.
When I came to the UCKG, I learned how to beat depression.
And thankfully somebody invited me here to the Helpcentre, and I'm not depressed anymore. That's it, I'm completely free, I'm happy, fulfilled.
When I came here, I beat depression.
And since I've been coming here now, I've been here now 19 years this year, and I can say that I am totally free from depression. I'm no longer depressed.
Welcome back. Chris, I would like to ask you, Michael, you're going to be also talking about it. How was life with depression? In a few moments, we're going to be letting them know what you did to overcome depression. But I would like you to let this person who is suffering with depression, this person who is now feeling down, sad, or even suicidal, how were you before? And Michael, you can also please at any time mention how you felt as well, because I can imagine how hard it is for someone to live with somebody who suffers with depression. So Chris, give us now an idea of how you were with depression. What is life with depression?
Life with depression, I would say, is like having a heavy weight around your neck all the time. So no matter where you are, even if you're surrounded by people, even if it's a lovely sunny day, you feel heavy all the time, you feel anxious all the time, you feel afraid all the time. And no matter what you do or where you are, it just doesn't go. It's just there constantly, just weighing you down and it's like a dark cloud over you everywhere you go.
Right. Michael, and how were you? Because you were married for how long? When you found out, did you know that Chris had depression before you got married?
Well, we were dating at the time,
Okay.
so we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we moved in together. And I didn't know she had it until we kind of moved in. So she was a very bubbly person, very happy, and no one expected her to have this kind of dark secret. But as soon as she moved in with me, I started to realize what a panic attack was like, and literally should have it every single night.
Really?
Yeah.
So how is it like? Because I'm sure that those who are now watching us, they probably know someone who suffers with depression, or they also do, panic attacks. This is all part of, let's say, of the same problem. Those who suffer with depression, usually they have panic attacks as well, right?
Yeah, they can do, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Michael, please, so how was it? Tell us, how was Chris, and how did she used to behave, and how hard it was for you?
Our relationship it was okay, but then it kind of got worse because we used to argue a lot, and it got worse over time. But when she would have a panic attack, she would wake up in the middle of the night, and I didn't know this in the beginning, but as time went by, she used to wake up shaking, terrified, scared, and she would even have panic attacks during the day.
Really?
So I would try to help her by saying, you know, calm down, everything is okay, it's all in your head, and move on. And that's kind of the worst thing that you can say to someone who is depressed or has a panic attack, because you're thinking, get over it. But in actual fact, the person can't get over it. There's more to it than just forgetting about it.
Because you were not in her shoes.
Exactly.
You thought that it was something in her head. And Chris, did that help, Michael telling you just to get over that?
No, it made me feel worse actually, because I already felt like no one would understand, because I felt like I was the only person in the world that was going through what I was going through. That's why I found it so difficult to open up to anyone. And then when he said that to me as well, it just made me feel even worse, because I thought, well, even you don't understand. And I couldn't really express everything that I was feeling and going through, because it was something so unknown to me. I wasn't like that before. So it's a very, very lonely place to be when you're like that. You just feel like you're the only one and no one would understand you.
Maybe you are thinking there that you are the only one going through depression. Maybe you think that there is no more hope for you. Maybe you are thinking about ending your life. But we are here to say to you that yes, there is hope for you. Not only hope, I believe that you can overcome this situation. Chris has. We're going to go for a short break now, and straight after, she's going to talk about what she did. She's talking here about how she was, but there is in her life a before and an after. And I believe in the same way she has today a before and an after, you also have your before and after.
I've been suffering from depression like literally all my life since I had a traumatic experience.
As a teenager, I would go in and out of feeling depressed. There were times where I was okay and there was times where it was really, really bad. It's only when I got into my 20s, that's when it got worse. Out of nowhere, I felt so low, I felt so sad, like life just, it was just not worth living.
I used to suffer from depression for maybe about a year or a little bit under. Sometimes even when I was around my friends, I would still feel empty. I felt like a deep hole and like a severe oppression. I felt like there was like a weight on my shoulders all the time, and I had to literally drag myself everywhere. This led me to think about have suicidal thoughts and things like that.
But since I was invited to the UCKG, I learned how to beat depression, and I beat depression.
And I've been back for like not even 2 weeks, and I just feel like I am free. God set me free. Thank you, Jesus.
But coming to the UCKG, I beat depression.
Welcome back. And I'm here with Chris and Michael. Before the break, they were talking about their experience with depression. Chris was mentioning about how she felt, how hard it was for her, not only for her, but also for her husband. And Michael, you touched a subject, you spoke about something very important. You didn't know how to handle the situation. You thought that you were helping Chris by saying that it was just something in her mind. But as you said, Chris, that made you feel worse. So Michael, you try to help her, and probably people couldn't be here, from the beginning. Let us know, what did you say to Chris that instead of helping her, made things worse?
Well, I believed in God, and I was given a Bible, though I wasn't practicing it. So one of the things I would do was to open the Bible, and I would read to her a few verses. And I said, okay, that's it. It's over now.
Get over it.
Get over it. But then she would kind of calm down, stay quiet. And I thought, okay, that's it. But when she'd have another panic attack, it's like, oh my goodness, what do I have to do now? And by this time, the arguments were getting worse in our relationship. So everything was kind of spilling over and boiling over. It just got worse. And it's like, I don't know what to do. Though I love you, we love each other, but just don't know what to do.
Yes. And I know that it's hard when we have a problem and we don't know what to do. And we try to solve it, and instead of helping, things get worse. Maybe this is your situation. Maybe you have a family member who is depressed, suicidal, and maybe you're thinking there, it's just something in his or her mind. Maybe you are trying to help this person, but in reality, the situation is getting worse. Chris and Michael will talk to you about what they found out when they came to the church, because they realized that it was not just something in Chris's mind. There was something behind the depression, the panic attacks as well. Chris, I would like you to share your experience, because today you know what was behind the depression, the panic attacks. And I know in a few moments you're going to talk about what you did, but what did you find out, Chris? What was the root cause of this problem?
I'd just like to say I did try many things. I tried the counselling, I tried religion, I tried many different things. So I tried all the physical things that, people get recommended to do, which can help some people, but in my case made things worse. The root of the problem was a spiritual one. I really did feel that there was something evil, something sinister going on, and I didn't know what it was. But I know because of that heaviness that I used to feel, I knew it was something evil, something bad. And the way I used to also, which we didn't mention yet, was explode in anger, and I used to hit him and swear at him and throw things at him. That wasn't me, and I'd feel so guilty. It was like something was controlling me. And afterwards, I'd feel so guilty. I'd cry because I felt so bad about for the way I behaved. And then I'd be doing it again. So I knew there was something, it was a spiritual problem. I knew it was something evil. I knew it wasn't me, but I just didn't know at the time, how to get rid of it.
But you had not been to church. Did you go to church to solve your problem, or?
I went to a few, but I didn't talk to anyone. But it was like some strange things going on there, so I didn't go back.
Right. But when you came here, what did you find out, Chris?
I found out that it was evil spirits that were affecting my life. And from the very first day, actually, I remember someone praying for me, and I remember specifically saying, please get this thing out of me. So even though I didn't know what it was, I didn't understand, but I knew there was something inside that was suffocating me. And then afterwards, I felt different. And from that very first day that I visited the church, I never, ever had a panic attack again.
Really?
Never again. And
she
that was...
woke up, we went home, she actually woke up the next day and said, look, I want to go back to this place because that's the first night in 7 years I slept all the way through.
Wow,
and
after 7 years you slept well.
It was amazing. It was a miracle for me. So of course I was going to go back. I wanted more. I wanted to see what else would happen, because everywhere else I'd been, I never got any help. So when you find a place that actually says to you, for the first time I heard someone say to me, your life's going to change, and I never heard that anywhere that I went before, ever.
Can you see? Maybe you have tried so many things before. You've been to places, and you're wondering, what else can I do? First of all, behind depression, there is something more sinister than just feelings and negative thoughts. As Chris is mentioning here, evil forces exist, and they are the ones behind this whole scenario. And here we are to say to you that we can beat depression together. You can beat depression. I am not promising anything. I'm showing you here someone who has beaten depression. Once you know what is behind it, once you know what is the root cause of depression, you can go, cut it off, and be free permanently. Chris, we're going to be letting them know what we are doing Fridays. And can you be here with us?
Yes, I can, definitely.
Look how nice. Chris is going to be here because we have determined that this is the moment for us to beat depression. Prepare yourself, because you're not going to wait that long. Every Friday, we're going to have something very special here in the church. We're going to go for a break. Get ready, because straight after the break, we'll let you know this special meeting that we have prepared for you who want to beat depression.
Globally, around 300 million people suffer from depression, and at its worst, it can lead to suicide. Today, someone close to you could be anguished with thoughts of ending their own life. But together, we can prevent the worst from happening. Join us at the Rainbow Theatre for our Depression Awareness campaign. Together, we can beat depression.
Yes, you can beat depression. Chris, do you agree?
Definitely.
Michael, what about you?
I agree, definitely, yes.
Has Chris beaten depression? Is she free today?
21
years.
21 years, completely free?
Completely free.
Never again you had those moments where
No,
you had panic attacks and...
not at all. From the very first visit, the panic attack stopped. After a while, the depression completely lifted as well.
Really? So Michael, how is it like to have a wife free from depression?
Amazing. We've even forgotten how it, well, I've forgotten how it was, because she's different now. She's happy. You know, she's hosting a program, helping other people with mental health issues, and not many people can help other people unless they've beaten depression.
So Chris, what do you have to say to this person who is depressed, or this mother who has a daughter, son who is depressed? What can you say to this father, to those who are watching us and they tried everything? What can you say to them?
Look, if you're suffering from depression, I understand exactly how you feel. I know that each day is a struggle for you. I know it's difficult sometimes to even wake up in the morning. I know exactly how you feel, but I also know how it feels to be completely depression-free. And it's there for you as well. It wasn't just exclusively for me. If I could do it, and I was one of the weakest, shyest, most timid people you could get, if I could do it, you can do it as well. And we're here to help you.
This Friday at midday, please make sure that you mark this on your agenda. Friday, midday, myself, Chris will be here, her husband will be here as well, and we're gonna help you to beat depression. Don't take long. Remember, the longer you take, the longer it will take for you to be free. Maybe you were wondering, what else can I do? I've spent money, I've tried everything. No, you haven't tried everything. You haven't tried what we are going to give you here. So this Friday, midday, 3 minutes I want to spend with you. Exactly. 3 minutes, and you will see depression can be beaten. I'm here with Chris and Michael, who can confirm that. And not only them, I used to suffer with depression as well, and I beat depression. I did it. I know how it feels. I know what I did, it worked for me. I'm free today for over 20 years, and I'm sure you also can be free. This Friday midday, we're gonna be here together. I just need 3 minutes of your time. Is that too much? I don't think so. 3 minutes, you're gonna come, I'm gonna show you what you have to do to beat depression, and get ready because you're gonna be one more person who will be talking about a life without depression. I'm gonna be here in Finsbury Park. Our address is 232 Seven Sisters Road, N4 3NX. But this meeting is gonna be happening not only here in Finsbury Park, but also across the United Kingdom. If you need to know more about addresses, please visit UCKG.org. All the addresses are there. You're gonna come to one of our churches, even outside London, no matter where you're from. Prepare yourself because Friday midday will be the day that you will beat depression. Mike and Chris, thank you very much.
Okay.
And let's go together. Friday, we're gonna fight. We're gonna beat depression together. God bless you all.